So, this week we watched Zoolander. It was directed by Ben Stiller, surprisingly. Lead role and director. And also Drake Sather? Sather? And John Hansbury. So, for the intro, everyone, in 30 words or less, describe the plot. Start with Darren.
30 words or less, I only need one. This is going to be a group contribution. Hansel.
He's so hot right now.
He's so hot right now.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
It's the whole plot. There's
I also
nothing
want to
else
point out-
happens in the movie.
Ben Stiller, also a producer, so contributed to writing, directing, and producing.
Yeah. He also wrote and directed the sequel as well, which is surprising because of the dip in quality.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That doesn't exist. That's not canon, right?
Yeah.
Me plot summary.
Yeah.
Boy, is there a plot?
There is a plot, yes. It's in there.
So we were just like learning how the male model community acted in the early 2000s. Oh, that was the whole plot. At one point, they enact domestic terrorism in the middle of a neighborhood.
So your Tim, your plot summary for the movie is it's a documentary from the early 2000s showing male models.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's sort of similar to my take. My take was it's himbos in their natural habitat.
This and
Did
stuff.
you watch the movie?
Yeah, I watched it. Yes, don't miss the Zohan.
He's got it. He's here.
Zoolander.
I mean, Adam Sandler was kind of circa, Ben Stiller era as well. So
I messed with the Zohan. I messed with him.
It's Zoolander.
The Zoolander, yeah, that's the one.
Yes. Kitty, give you a plot summary.
I remember Derek Zoolander, he's like a hot model, and he's got his looks, Blue Steel, and I forget what the second one is, but he's been working on, like, Magnum, is that the one? Forever. And we do get to see it at the end of the movie, spoiler alert.
if you missed my summary synopsis, Jordan, it was Hansel. He's so hot right now.
It's so hot right now.
I know, he's hot as fuck, bro.
So moving on to the breakdown of the video.
Power!
It starts off with an evil meeting with Mugatu and this cabal of
That's right. A cabal of distinct accents.
yes, the accents that I could not pinpoint. Yeah, okay, you meet Mugatu and then that moves on to Derek getting his makeup put on, where he shows the the reporter, Blue Steel, and La Tigre, and shockingly all very similar, is what she thought, but not me, because I'm cool, I saw them all, right guys, we
If
all
you were a true Zoolander expert, you would really see and appreciate the nuances.
You can pick it
of
up.
his
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah. Not me, I saw it.
Not for the
But-
simple-minded.
Yeah.
Can we appreciate one quote though?
Sure.
And that's like, when Matilda asks him that question, is like, let me answer your question with another question. How many Aboriginals do you see battling?
They hinted to this part of the movie. It's something that Derek's working on, and we will see it maybe, possibly, throughout the movie, at the end of the movie. But that moves up to the VMA fashion shows where you see Trump. He's topical. I'm going to emphasize the word Trump, so I get put in the algorithm because he's very topical right now. Okay, we move on to the VMA fashion shows, and we get introduced to Hansel.
He's so
He's so
hot
hot
right
right
now.
Thank you,
He's so hot
Right now.
He's so
Thank you.
hot right now.
thank you. And his sick fucking yo-yo.
Bro, the world's longest yo-yo.
Yep.
That guy fucking uses a yo-yo like it's fucking nuclear weapon. It's crazy. Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
That's why he's so hot
Okay.
right now.
He said Trump. Now
I
I'm,
just had to get those buzzwords in there real quick. My bad.
now I'm gonna fucking every time I think of Trump, I'm gonna think he's so hot right now.
Enhance his yo-yo.
No.
It's gonna
Enhance
get...
his yo-yo.
Moving
Yeah,
on, in this scene as well, we see the meme. You know, when they walk by slow-mo by each other. Remember that meme?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
But there is a great joke from Hansel. Oh, no, sorry, Derek. Said, are you worried about him? And Derek said, not as much as I'm worried about Gretel. It's pretty good. It's pretty witty for a himbo.
Crazy pull for him.
He's not a himbo, guys. He's actually quite intelligent
He
and
is.
really, really, really ridiculously good looking.
He is really, really, really ridiculously good looking.
It's not his fault he was born with washboard abs and a chiseled
Perfect
jawline.
bone structure.
Perfect bone structure. I was gonna say at the actual VMAs, two things: the dog is high as fuck, and the opening reminds me of Blades of Glory. Remember when they introduce Will Ferrell's character? Like when they're showing the video introducing, they do the same thing with Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller in this movie, pretty much.
And then in this fucking thing, the SpongeBob movie stole this bit from Zoolander when they announced the award for Model of the Year. It's the same as when they announce who becomes the manager of the Krusty Krab.
Yeah, you're right. I was trying to pinpoint, like, I've seen this before. Like, I couldn't figure out where. I thought
it's fucking SpongeBob movie.
yeah, SpongeBob. I thought it was just like a trope that happens in like these types of movies, and that's like what sends that's what sends like the main character spiraling. Yes,
He's so fucking hot.
he's just so hot right now.
He's
That's
hot
right.
right now.
And then that moves into his "Who am I" moment, or his first "Who am I" moment of the movie, where he gets splashed by doo-doo water, and Hansel slinks by.
Not the fucking doo-doo water.
Not the doo-doo water.
Right in the face. And then
Oh.
Hansel fucking booms him twice.
Yeah.
Double booms him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
After that, they move on to the Derek's apartment scene. I wrote a note here earlier, but I'll say it here. Why aren't any of Derek's friends at the award show with him?
Oh, that's a good point. None of them are there.
Yeah.
No, they have their own table. They have their own table, VIP table.
Ah, okay. So
God.
that's Alexander Skarsgård. This was actually his first American role. Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Wait, is he the guy that plays Murderbot?
Yeah, Murderbot, and he was Tarzan, and he was also
And he was
Bill.
In True Blood.
No, Eric from True Blood. Yeah.
Eric. True Blood, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And in this one, he's
So
the
different
Green
guy.
Power Ranger. In the next scene after this, when they're in the car getting the
Orange mocha
orange latte,
frappuccinos.
orange mocha frappuccino. I was gonna say something else. They just pull up to a petrol station and just fucking lose it. And then all of them start enacting domestic terrorism for some reason. Just waving the petrol pumps around, just
Now-
flinging it.
I just wanted to make one more observation before we all comment on this section. I understand why Derek is the alpha idiot of the group. It's because he has the most survival instincts of all of these people. He's still an idiot, but he's not the type of person that would like run into oncoming traffic. I can see every one of his friends doing that
Or light a cigarette when throwing
in
around
gasoline. Yes.
Yeah, throwing around the orange juice gasoline. Don't light a
That's-
cigarette.
That's why he's the alpha model. That moves on to the coal mine scene where Derek admits that he solidifies that he's going to retire, and then he goes to work at the coal mines with his family, his two brothers and his father, who all have similar hair to him. Yes, they go to the mines, he meets his family, and then it flash cuts back to Mugatu's building, and it's sort of like a mishmash. This entire section is Mugatu's building, the coal mine, and the bar scene. It just happens like slaps back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
No wonder it felt like a fever dream.
But then one of the most iconic scenes happens in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Derek becoming a miner, you know, doing his strut across the coal mines, showing who's the alpha himbo.
Yeah, Bimbo.
Just blue
Kills
his
And
somebody,
then and then
does that.
and then a scene that I don't think I can show on YouTube. Yes, after the mining montage, then they go to the bar scene where they meet Mermaid Derek. Sorry, I
love that
misspoke.
part.
I misspoke. Does anyone want to correct me?
The man. The
The
man.
man.
The man.
Alright, that moves on to his second Who Am I scene of the movie, where he uses his incredible portable phone.
Well, I want it so badly.
So good.
I would
lesbian
fucking
phone.
get rid of my phone and have that. It'd be
I would
so
trade up
good.
anytime.
Yeah.
That's a trade up.
He picks up and he's like, hello, and he's like, God.
What?
It's me, Derek.
My God has a telephone.
Okay, that moves on to Derek's interview with Mugatu, where they present him with his new collection, or that he's going to be the face of, Derelict. It's pretty clever. I wrote down when Mugatu gets his latte. I wasn't sure if he was going to kiss his assistant or not, because he goes in for a kiss, and then
Kind of has that like mean girl behavior with him.
yeah, he sort of goes in for it, and then like forgets about the whole scenario, and then continues with the conversation. Oh my god! And then the most iconic scene of the movie happens. What happens is Mugatu introduces the clothes collection. Derek accepts, or he doesn't accept. He's a bit wary, and then Mugatu sweetens the deal by showing him a model of the Center of Kids That Read Good. Is that how you say it?
The center of kids that don't read good but still want to do things
Something
good.
like that. Something like that. And he he shows him the model, which is of normal scale. I would say it's like maybe 1 to 100 scale, 1 to 200 scale.
An architectural kind of scale.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
How you would advertise a model.
Yeah. So what happens is Derek sees the model, and he thinks it's the actual model that people were going to study in. So he calls it, what is this? A center for ants? And then he breaks it, and then he says it has to be at least 3 times bigger than this, or else it's not gonna work. And
he really thinks about 3 times.
he does. He really does think about it. So in this portion of the movie, Derek goes to a day spa that Mugatu sends him to brainwash him into killing the Malaysian Prime Minister, so he can have his sweatshop workers at a lower price, because that's the entire plot of the movie. I probably should have said at some point, but the Malaysian Prime Minister is enforcing a new law to pay child workers, or not have child workers anymore.
No. It was to increase the wage of child
Oh,
workers.
okay.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
to
yeah.
stop children workers. It was to raise their wages.
Yes.
I
But
don't know if that's better or not. He gets stuck in the animation that plays at a bowling alley after you get a spare. Like, so many different aspects that I feel like shouldn't be put together are just on the screen at the same time. It's like Mugatu's face, and it's normal Mugatu. And then on the side is Mugatu dressed up like Ragdoll Annie or something with a big lollipop on the side.
And that moves us on to the pre-runway party, where they once again introduce how fucking stacked the cast is, with cameos from Billy Zane, Winona Ryder, like we mentioned before. But I just, at this point of the movie, I was just like, there's so many quotable lines in this movie, and I did make like a comparison to, like, in this day and age, in the early 2000s, that was like the big thing in these movies. Like, you had to make like quotable lines for the movie to be popular. Like to name a few, like Anchorman, Dodgeball, Happy Gilmore. Like, you can all remember
I haven't
funny
seen
lines.
any of those movies.
That's a crime. That's a crime.
That's
I'm
you're
having
going
cardiac
on
arrest right now,
trial.
guys.
Billy Madison is another one. You know, like whenever I think of Bill Madison, I think, "Stop looking at me, Swan." You know, that's like
not just humor. You know, it was also in like action films, like one-liners from like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be
Yeah.
back. Hustler this
Oh,
little
yeah.
baby.
It's like one-liners and then an immense amount of cameos, like
Mhm.
3-second long cameos,
Mm. Yep,
and
the
that's
cameo game
the
is strong.
recipe for a 2000 movie.
maybe that's why Kitty and Vani don't like this type of movie. Like, maybe we're just idiots, and we're just like we like flashing
simple.
colors. Yeah, we're simpletons.
It's,
Maybe
it's,
we all
it's
have
basically our version of trash reality.
Yeah, exactly. And Kitty and Vani actually want to watch a movie. Like, crazy, right?
Nah, well, that's stupid. I want to watch brain rot condensed into 90 minutes with
Nostalgia.
faces that
Nostalgia
are
bait.
somewhat recognizable.
Like a big like who's younger or like who's hotter at this point of the movie. They're doing a walk off to show who's hotter, and to describe what a walk off is, they both walk off on a runway and they both do a move, and it's the other person's job to mimic that move, and then it cycles between the two until the person can't do the move. But the scene ends with Hansel doing a move. He goes quote unquote monk, and is able to remove his underwear without taking off his pants. So Derek tries to imitate that move and gives himself a big old wedgie, and loses the walk off. And that leads them to a cemetery where Matilda got a call. It's like a lead on the case, where they meet David Duchovny's character, J.B. Pruitt. I thought that was very funny because the last movie was written by X-Files, the people that wrote X-Files, and this guy was the lead of X-Files. So, you know, whoever's watching, that's your connection to...
That's a deep
We're
cut.
really making a narrative here.
Yeah, that's the connection to these, to the final destination in Zoolander.
J.P. Hewitt.
J.P. Hewitt, yes, David Duchovny. A bunch of people that were assassinated throughout history were assassinated by actors and male models. It presents the narrative that like male models are perfect for assassination because they're in peak physical condition, they only follow orders and they don't question it, and they're idiots. the fucking, well, again, one of the best scenes of the movie, because it has the line when he explains this whole thing. David Duchovny explains this whole thing, and Ben Stiller looks at him and goes, "But why models though?"
Yeah, that's a really good scene.
Yeah, and then he mentions you googly again. That was pretty good.
David Duchovny's character with the fucking hyperbaric chamber around his hand, but him himself being just a disheveled homeless man, but his hand is in pristine condition.
They figure out that they have to go to the last place that anyone would check, Hansel's house.
It's peak male therapy.
Romance.
Yeah.
I mean, you're learning. You're learning. That's a life
It's
skill,
immediately bonding with your fellow man and then shitting on the one female in the room.
But yeah, they make up, and Hansel invites them into his house, and his house is packed with just a bunch of zany characters.
An entire hostel in one room.
They sit around a circle and they discuss. She reveals that she is, in fact, bulimic.
What,
And
she
then-
can read minds?
And they think she means psychic. And then Matilda starts to say like it's a serious condition. You know, she had to throw up a lot, and then they laugh at her. They say they're literally male models. They have to throw up after every meal to stay skinny.
Duh.
Duh.
Up after many meals. It's a great way to lose weight before a show.
I like how they laugh it off like it's normal.
Yeah. And it moves on after that. It moves on to the part where she's talking about the fucking Earth to blah blah blah, and they just like they just like berate her and then mansplain the shit out of her. It's like, we don't actually mean like Earth to you, like we have a satellite. Are you crazy? What's wrong with you?
12 hours since they made up?
Yeah. Yeah. And they're the best friends ever. So after that, at the very end of this scene, they find out that it's only a few hours away from the derelict show, and they missed out all of their planning opportunity. So Derek comes up with the idea to disguise himself as a janitor to sneak into Maurice's building, because Maurice is dun dun dun. He's working with Mugatu. They cast entirely different actors to play Derek and Hansel. I wanted to write for the guy that plays Derek. That pout was perfect. But that moves on to the sneaking. Welcome to Derelict, the actual show, when Derek gets pushed onto the runway. So they dress Derek up in a bunch of trash bags. Is that trash? Is it trash bags or duct tape maybe?
He's in a huge outfit of trash bags and cardboard boxes and plastic bags and
Yeah.
like, just so much shit.
Yeah.
Until he rips it all off for his, I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be.
Yeah. But he puts on this clothes, and Matilda figures out the trigger. He says the trigger is the song "Relax."
Can we say
and
she only figures out the code word because of the fucking assistant she has comes in with 2 halves of a rock melon filled with cottage cheese.
But yeah, he does. He gets triggered by the music, and he starts to do kung fu moves because he was trained at the day spa. And it cuts back to Hansel trying to get the evidence out of the computer. And what's her name? Matilda calls him and says the files are in the computer. Now, he later on breaks the computer open because he thinks the files are actual files in the computer. I think it's a problem with direction. You know, I don't know if it was entirely his fault. Yeah.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Matilda knows he's an idiot. Yeah.
She has to. At this point, she has to.
Okay, and he breaks the computer while he's in a breakdancing fight with the DJ, and he loses the fight. Does he lose the fight? I can't remember. But
Sort of. He gets thrown on the ground.
Yeah, what happens is Derek stops trying to assassinate the Prime Minister right before he gets to him. The securities grab him, and Mugatu's like, "You're an idiot! You're an idiot!" And then he says some messed up shit that I would never say personally. He says, I've never said this in my life, but he says like blue steel, La Tigre, all of that. It's all one look. Absolutely crazy. A true fan would never say that. Yes.
Wow.
And then what happens is Mugatu throws like a ninja star, or that's in the shape of an M, towards the Malaysian Prime Minister to try to kill him. And I don't know how he was going to get away with that crime, but he did it. And then Derek jumps in front of the Malaysian Prime Minister, not because he wanted to defend him, because Mugatu was insulting all of his looks. So he decided to show him Magnum. And it turns out Derek Zoolander is bulimic. He can control minds and, you know.
Bulimia controls what?
Yeah.
This was bulimia a superpower. Did I miss something?
Yeah. No, if you're bulimic, you can read minds.
What do you get if you're lactose intolerant?
A poopy butt.
You get IBS.
Yeah.
Ah, projectile water shit.
Yes.
Poo water. Aggressive poo water.
I wanted to mention as well, when he was running to save the Malaysian Prime Minister, I think he turns left. And I forgot to mention as well.
I was gonna mention, if you didn't, the big subplot of the movie is that he can't turn left. He's not an ambi turner.
He's not an ambi-turner.
It's the second Chekhov of the movie. It's Chekhov's left turn. Yeah, Derek gets away with it.
Derek gets away with it.
Cops it.
Mugatu goes to jail, and then his dad is finally proud of him because he recognizes one of his looks. And then it moves on to the final scene of the movie. the center for kids that can't read good. But yes, that is the entire movie of Zoolander. We'll go and move on to the fun facts section of the video. Couple of fun facts I wrote down here. Derek's "Why Male Models" line of the movie at the cemetery was actually improvised because Ben Stiller forgot his line. So David Duchovny just gave him a straight answer. That's the first fun fact. The second fun fact is the movie was actually banned in Malaysia for the fictional assassination of the Prime Minister. The ban is lifted now, but
That's fucking hilarious, bro.
it's funny. And
That's actually funny.
the final fun fact is the non-graphic orgy scene was originally longer, but it was shortened to maintain like a PG-13 rating. And little insight on that: goats were actually included in that scene.
Oh my god.
This
That's
movie's
wild.
PG, though. What?
He's 3. Yeah. PG-13.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so final thoughts of the movie from everyone. Let's start with Darren. And a rating.
Yep. Rather than giving you a figure, I'll give you a temperature. Okay. And rather than me giving you the temperature, you guys will give the temperature. Because why? Hansel.
He's so hot right now.
He's so hot right now.
But I do need a number for the video. I can't put that.
How hot? The hottest of hot. 10 out of 10.
Okay. 10 out of 10 is crazy. I love that.
I can't wait for the other movies that we do, and Darren gives him like a 7.
Jordan,
Yeah.
what would you give Zoolander out of 10?
Oh,
And
man.
hang on, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Jordan, what are your final thoughts on Zoolander, and what would you give it out of 10?
Better than World War 3.
I think that's most things.
If I had to, okay. It made me want to pursue a modeling career.
Wow.
6.
6 out of 10. Are you okay with that, Darren?
He's a free man. He can like whatever he likes, and rate whatever he likes.
Darren's vibrating in his chair.
All right.
I'm gonna go nuclear.
All right, Kitty, what are your final thoughts on a rating, please?
Don't you dare.
Great
Don't
movie
you dare.
for himbos to enjoy,
Mhm.
and I give
Oh, we
it.
were rating a 4 out of 10 for a second.
Yeah, I
was
did
gonna be
too.
heartbroken. She was like,
The Great Himbos. Pause. 4.
I'm like, how's great associated with 4 out of 10? And she's like, great,
Well,
4, himbos. I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
I think I'd give it a 6.
6 out of 10.
I originally gave it a 7, but I'm demoting it.
Wow.
I'm
Any-
heating up right now, guys.
Any reason?
He's
He's hotter than Hansel right now. He's hotter than Hansel right now.
I'm vibrating so fast right now, guys. Insane.
Is there any reason you took a point off?
To trigger Darren.
Goddamn right.
No, it's just
All
after
right.
watching, I feel like I need to really touch grass because I feel like I'm in a different world.
My final thoughts on the movie is the same as my final note. Prostate cancer is the good guy, and I would give it a good 6.5.
No, we don't do half numbers.
All right, 7.
7. So I love this movie. I think it's a fucking classic. So many quotable lines in it. I think Ben Stiller is incredible in this movie. He's doing the himbo before it was popular. Before fucking what's his name? Ryan Gosling and Barbie. You know, this is where it came from.
Yeah, respect.
And
love you, man.
I love that. I think I'm biased because I do like this movie quite a lot. So
'Cause
I
you're a
don't.
himbo?
I think you're more himbo than me, Jordan. Come on now.
True.
Yeah. But I'll move to the rating. The rating, I think I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, that's the whole movie. That's everyone's rating. Thank you all for watching. Please watch again.
Is that a Simpsons quote?
I just raised the bar. I look at it with a measure with little to no effort. I thought I could be messed up. Bless up.